Hi everybody, welcome back to Gears and Glory. I'm finally back joining Sophia and Brittany.
Liv's here.
It's been weeks, like over a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, maybe I came back at a good time. The Mexican Grand Prix. I mean,
Chaos.
Yeah, busy one.
chaos in some sense. I, in all honesty, didn't watch the full thing. So, you must believe my shock when I saw Pierre Gasly was involved in bringing out a safety car.
But we reassured Liv that Pierre was uninvolved.
I've been told he's fine, and I'm fine now. I mean, it makes sense. I saw the results. I saw where he finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That crash was crazy, though.
Yeah, like, I'm going to have to go back and watch it now.
Yeah, well, I think I sent you guys the pictures of the cameraman who stuck his arms out in the name of F1 TV and Sky Sports. Like, nearly sacrificed his arms just to get this insane video of Yuki.
It's worth losing my arms.
No, yeah, no. Like, peel it back. You can still have your arms and get a good shot.
Yep.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
Yep.
I actually feel like taking, half a step back might have actually given us a bit more of a bigger picture of the impact. So, maybe both ways would have been, it would have been beneficial. But hey, from what we've seen, he's walked away scot-free. I just hope he doesn't have carbon fiber arms.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Dedication on his resume.
Yeah.
I know, but like, when's the last time we saw Yuki crash?
Probably since
Logan
is off the grid.
Yeah, I feel like he crashes a lot, but not a lot. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, it does. Well, and the reason I ask is because I'm wondering if, like, having Liam as his teammate is in his head, because maybe
100%.
There's a new sense of, like, feeling, like, threatened, for lack of a better word, where, like, he knew where he stood with Danny all season. And now there's a new player, and we'll talk about Liam, because I want to talk about Liam later, and Checo, and et cetera, et cetera. But, I wonder if it's getting into it, like, if it's getting to him a little bit, because I know they're like good friends.
Yeah,
I think so.
They lived together for ages.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hey,
I also think that the tension lies where like with the second Red Bull seat, because obviously Yuki's been around for a lot longer. And obviously Red Bull see things in him that the public don't see.
All of Red Bull, though? Or is it just Helmut Marko?
Probably the man himself. I could say other things, but I won't. I think that, being around for so long and not getting a Red Bull seat, that's a bit crappy. And then to have Liam come in and be like, yeah, he's going to replace Checo, it'd have to be a kick in the guts, and surely it would be playing so much on him mentally.
Yeah, it'd have to be, especially with, like, at the moment, like, I guess we'll skip to, like, the not racy stuff, but, like, at the moment with Christian Horner being so vocal about wanting Franco in that Red Bull.
Yes.
It's gonna hurt.
Yes.
That means they've never driven an F1 car before. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to be.
I mean, especially with both of them having come up, both Liam and Yuki having come up through the junior driver program. Like, Franco is not a Red Bull junior driver.
No.
And knowing that Red Bull's willing to, like, pay Williams $20 million to get Franco.
I really hope that he doesn't go there. I want to see him on the grid, but Red Bull, they're in there. We can see it. They're going downhill.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's leaving. That's all the news, like, all the time is just, like, everybody's resigning. And, like, it would be almost Oscar Piastri-esque to, like, pull something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be as successful as Oscar's move. Because, I mean, Alpine is Alpine, and we all made the tractor jokes at the beginning of the season. They're pretty competitive now. They picked it up.
They painted their car orange, and they somehow gained 20 Ks an hour. So
imagine that's the secret. Imagine, like, Adrian Newey just shows up at Aston Martin and paints the car orange.
I just love the memes that I saw where it was like, the other teams and they listed like what the upgrades were, and then you swipe and it's the picture of Fernando Alonso like with all these muscles being like, and it's like Alpine paints their car orange.
Yeah.
I loved
Oh my
it.
god.
You know how they've always said like red goes fast, so like get a red car because red goes fast.
Yeah.
Maybe they were wrong all along and it was orange.
We were close.
They were just
Yeah.
like, it was like slightly colorblind, so they couldn't quite make out that it wasn't red. They were like,
It was like at night. So, you know, grain of salt.
Yeah.
This has been like a misunderstanding for like centuries now, but it was always red, orange. Hello?
It would explain why it's so painful to be a Ferrari fan.
Yeah,
Oh my god, yeah.
Red's actually slow.
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. I think Red Bull has to be, I mean, I don't think they care.
They ruined
I feel
driving.
like I would like them to be careful with how they make these moves.
Mm.
But obviously, yeah, like they don't care. The fact, honestly, I'm still a little bitter over it, and I don't want to be because I'm excited for new faces on the grid and I'm excited for Liam to finally get his chance, but the way that they did that was not good.
Oh, it was not it.
No. I don't think he's got the RB seat for next year, I just don't think he knows that yet.
I feel like it's still too early for me to make a confident decision on where I think he's going to go.
I just think Red Bull's too effed up. Like, they're not gonna, like, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, you need to be in a seat by this point to not be able to leave your contract. Okay, well, let's give you a seat for a couple months. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and it's weird because it's like we've had all these conversations about like who's like, oh, they were gonna get rid of Checo and then they got rid of Danny, and now that we're post Mexico, we literally have what, 4 races left now, and now it's like, oh well, like Checo's out of a seat because now we're done. The Disney special's out. Like, I don't actually know if it's out, but like he advertised it on his helmet. I don't think there will be much more after that. Like,
yeah.
And like it's silly because it's like, okay, well, they can wait for Mexico for Checo, but they can't wait for Austin for Danny.
Yeah.
I think Checo is going to finish the season and be gone. Because did you see what his dad posted on Instagram about like your last Mexican Grand Prix?
Yeah, I think I saw something about that.
Yeah.
His son's retirement, like.
I did see that, but then I saw a comment that said that his dad has been saying stuff like that for like 2 years or something.
Yeah, everyone's been like announcing his retirement for like 2 years. But I'm also like, maybe his like English is really bad and he just means like your most recent Grand Prix, like your first Grand Prix to your most recent. He doesn't mean like last.
Oh, wait, actually, yeah, hold on. Let me turn my Spanish brain on. Because it can totally do that in Spanish. And then to just directly translate that to English might get confused.
Yeah, well, that's what some Spanish chick was saying, because she translated it as well, and she was like, I'm confused. She's like, it could mean anything. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good point, because it could be like last as in like this
past.
Yeah. The last race that you raced was in Mexico, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's just so desperate to see Checo go that they're all like, yep, last, he's gone. They're just jumping on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll like gaslight him into leaving or something. I don't know.
Which, like, I think he's great for especially the Latin American audience, which this might be a good segue for me to talk about the thing that I want to talk about. But I think he's great for Latin American audience, but like in terms of like racing, he was dead last. They put the softs on and he didn't even get fastest lap in the Red Bull, which doesn't mean as much now at this point in the season as it did before, especially when it's apparent that the Ferraris are much more competitive. So like, oh my God, when they were like, oh my God, we have like 1 lap left, let's put the softs on, Charles. And I was like, whoa. I remember texting the group chat. I was like, please don't let this be a mistake, Ferrari. Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah. I was like, why is he in the pits? What's wrong? Something's happened. Because I kind of like zoned out for a second before, because it was like the last lap. So I was like, not much is going to change.
Not worth it. But I had also forgotten that they had that huge gap to Lewis.
Yeah. They had like a 15-second gap or 18-second gap or something to Lewis.
It was like 30. It was so big. No, it was huge.
My God.
Yeah. So it was insane. But even so, like one thing has to go wrong for
Mm.
that 30-second gap to turn into you lost 2 places.
And it's Ferrari, so.
Right. So I was panicking. But I do want to segue that into talking about a little bit of like we're having our like Latin American, South American races, and there seems to be, I feel like I've been really clear on the pod about like I need you to have a good attitude if I'm going to be a fan of you. Like
Yes.
I'm not a huge fan of Lando because of the attitude that he has. And lately Liam Lawson has been having an attitude. And I understand that there's a difference between, like, I know it's so important. It's vital. Like, you can't be a driver and not be hungry and, like, vicious. We see it in Carlos Sainz all the time, and I think that's what makes him a good driver. Yeah, it pisses me off when he's racing Charles, because Charles is my favorite driver, but I respect him for it. But there are things that Liam has done that I think are unnecessary, especially in the way that he's talking about it, and I want to be a fan of his so bad. And I think he's such a cool guy, but I just can't get over these comments and stuff of, like, I know he had his beef with Alonso, which I think is probably merited, as they were just battling on the track and then it just went off the track. You know, like NASCAR drivers have fist fights in the pits. Like, I get it. But for me, the issue with his behavior in Mexico was it's Checo's home race. You just like base level. Second of all, you don't have to flip someone off after you've been battling them and then you pass them. That's just racing.
Literally the whole.
That's just racing. And so I think I saw some quote from Liam that was like, well, he had been like ruining my race. I'm like, yeah, that's the sport.
He'd been defending to hold his position.
And I feel like Liam's getting all up in arms over this. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't see why you're so upset. That's the name of the game.
This sounds so bad as well, and most people probably won't agree with me. But, like, RB is Red Bull's little sister team. You're developing. So, like, if anything, you should probably be helping to defend Red Bull when you can. So you probably should have let him go. You probably should have, helped him a little bit. Like, obviously not, like, if you're that far ahead where you have to actually slow down to let him pass. But, like, don't just battle him stupidly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. It just... Yeah. And especially as an Australian, we claim every Kiwi that does well in the world as Australians. So I so desperately want to like Liam Lawson because as far as I'm concerned, he's Australian.
He's also a big Cars fan. And I'm like...
Yeah.
Me too, girl. Me too.
But, yeah, his behaviour the last, 2 weeks, I'm like, you're kind of painting yourself a bad picture. Like, at least have a full-time seat before you start acting like...
Well, and that's what Checo said. He was like, you need to find some humility also in this sport. Like, you need to be hungry. You need to be vicious. You need to be hard. You need to be hard. Whatever. But, you need to be humble about it at the end of the day. Like, I feel like, honestly, if we took... Okay, here I go. I love Ferrari, obviously. But, if we took Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc and just, mashed them together, I feel like we would have the perfect driver.
That's it.
Yeah.
Also, on that Ferrari mashing drivers together... Arthur and Charles Leclerc, if you mash them together, they would be unstoppable because Arthur's terrible at qualifying, but Charles qualifies really well.
Right.
Charles terrible at race pace and overtaking, but Arthur is a god. Bro, start from the back of the F3 grid and win the race. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine them mash together.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my little Leclerc rant over, but let's mash up the Leclerc brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Also, not to be part of the complaint train, but
Please.
I wanted to talk about something else. I feel like being from Colombia and being Hispanic and Latina, I feel like a lot of things came up that I was much more educated to be able to speak on. And one of those was the commentators, especially in Spain, saying oh, Carlos won. And I know they say king of the track, king of the Grand Prix. I get it. Yeah. But when you say that a Spaniard is king of Mexico, it brings up a whole wealth of historical trauma and colonization and all of that I just feel I'm sure it was said as it was not problematic when they said Charles is the king of Monaco or Prince of Monaco because he's from there. I get it. But just take half a second to think about the statement, especially as the colonizer. Because that was wild. I remember messaging also in the group chat of like, there's something here that's like poetic and tragic about a colonizer winning the Grand Prix of their colony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
I guess really on that point as well, you know, like the graphics that the F1 account's been posting, and it's like statement, like when
Yes.
people
Oh my god, they're so annoying.
There's no way whoever made that first graphic for Lando, there's no way they planned for that to be anything
No.
more. And now they feel stuck. You know what I mean? Like, and they're also, they've had to move on to like an Argentinian on the grid, like trying to take away from wins as well, and it's just not working.
The
You know what?
only two that work were actually the only three good ones. I got the balloons!
Wow!
Sorry. Small wins. The ones that work are Statement. That was just hard. Goes hard. Oscar worthy. Iconic.
Okay.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then the Charles one was also great because it was his
Nato or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were great, but they were all, I think, except for Lando's, I think they were all for their first wins, no? Or their second wins.
Like early wins.
Yeah. But those are the three favourites. The other ones, especially Carlos's last one, I'm like, wow, you really had nothing that you could put.
Could not have tried less.
Yeah.
They went,
He
said that once, let's go.
Why could they not put the smooth operation?
Smooth operator would have been like perfect.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what? Anyway. Maybe they got copywriters.
I know that. But the fact that the poor man had to go out and play smooth operator himself is sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
I do feel kind of bad that he's kind of like the forgotten child right now of like everyone loves Charles. Obviously Ferrari picked Charles. I get it. I would too. But then there's always this discourse of like, oh, they got rid of the wrong driver, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And so then part of it's that, but then part of it is like, oh my god, I just can't wait to see Lewis in the Ferrari. And so it feels like he's kind of lost in between here, and it's all of it's so bittersweet. Like he was saying, I think Carlos was saying in an interview, like he wanted one more win with Ferrari before he goes, and it's like, you know, someone's gonna break up with you. Like clearly, like he knows that the breakup's coming, and it's like, I just want to have sex one more time before we're over. Like this is his breakup sex. Mexico was his breakup sex with Ferrari.
Yes.
Also, can we talk about how poetic it was that he was on the podium with his two favourite teammates?
Yes.
Literally, Carl Lando and Carlos.
Yeah.
It was so poetic.
Speaking of the podium,
Uh-oh.
Lando had another attitude.
Did he? I didn't watch the podium.
He didn't do his podium smash, which fine, I get it. But I felt like he was third wheeling too.
Really?
Like Charles immediately started to like spray Carlos, and Carlos was like busy trying to defend himself, and it felt like every time I see Lando on the podium and he's not number one, even sometimes when he is on P1 in the middle, like he just seems like upset.
No, you know what? This is exactly what happened when Oscar was on the podium with him, and Lando ignored him, and Oscar was standing in the corner. So you know what?
Karma.
Lando, this is your karma, because see Charles and Carlos, that's how you celebrate teammates.
You just have to be polite about it. That's the thing. You don't have to lie and pretend you're the happiest person in the world, but like you're in the fight every time you're making up points on Max Verstappen, two-time world champion.
Yeah.
Right? Like just
oh
don't.
my god.
Ugh.
Did you? Oh my god, I have so many. I have literally like 3 key points I need to raise. But first,
Please,
with it. On that like childish teammate shit. Did any of you see that TikTok? That girl was trying to make it out like Charles ignored Carlos when he got out of the car, but she'd clipped the second half of the video.
Yes.
It was after he had gone up and congratulated him, and she made it trying to like make it look like he'd ignored him and just kept walking. And I'm so glad so many people in the comments called her out. They were like, "You've literally just like clipped this past when he out of the car and immediately congratulated him."
Yeah, and read more comments, and I think I actually saw the full clip, and it's because I think he got out of the car, congratulated Carlos, then he ran and got his helmet, and then ran to get weighed, and then after that came straight back.
Yeah.
Well, because
So
it's not a rush for any of the other drivers.
No,
like, they get to get weighed at their leisure, but if you are doing the interview, if you're doing the cool-down room, and if you're doing the podium, like, let's go. Put your watch on, baby. It's time to get going.
Did you see Andrea running down with the watch?
Wait.
No reason, but it's so good. He's like,
no, my God, Cinderella vibes.
Yes. I love Andrea. Oh.
Alessandro's stack. Beautiful. And then he did like a little cartwheel in the post race.
That was hilarious. I actually thought he was going to do a flip.
Yeah, right. Bloody like about Max Verstappen, like three-time world champion. Did you see? I don't even remember what Damon Hill said to him, but he said something about like, you know, you've got to calm down with the driving or something like that. And he goes, I know what I'm doing. I'm a 3-time world champion. You tell him. I was like, that's wild. I'm going to see if I can find the thing again because I saw it this morning and I was like, that is gold. That is golden.
He's so sassy.
He is so sassy. I giggled in his
love it.
When he was in the media pen and they asked him about the penalty, and Max was like, look, how I feel about it doesn't matter because we were sat there for 20 seconds. So, like, it's done.
That was so painful to watch during the race.
Mannequin challenge all over again.
Yeah. I love seeing the videos being like, this is a mannequin challenge. But Max was like, yes. I love that Max was like, oh, I'd probably just, like, get a drink, like, get out of the car, get a drink. I had enough time.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's a good one.
It really makes time feel like that much longer. Like it emphasizes how relative time is. Because 20 seconds any other day, like we just recorded 20 seconds, whatever. But like sitting there waiting. And also, what was it? I think Danny Rick had a penalty where somebody accidentally touched the car.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time that he was serving that, I was like, everybody keep your hands off. Don't even think about it.
Literally.
Get back. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, on that track of Red Bull as well, I've got so much to say and nothing really about the race, just like random.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Let's vent.
With like how Checo hasn't been dropped. Danny Rick was dropped so quickly for not performing, but I'm sorry, Checo's literally just caused Red Bull to drop to P3 in the constructors, and they're like, what about it?
They dropped Pierre, Alex, Danny so quick. So quick. But Checo,
they're like,
it's because of, we know why.
It's the money.
Why. It's the business side. Money. That's the only reason. But like, come on, there has to be a point.
I mean, like Christian said,
what's the threshold?
You've got to like make the call.
Yeah.
Christian, phone's ringing.
Yeah.
Call. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to be like, oh my God, just drop him. I'm like, just let them ride the season out, whatever. I try to be nice, but this has gone on for years. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, with 4 races left, I don't really care what happens. I hope they don't drop him because I would hate for it to happen to 2 drivers in one season to get dropped like this.
3. We already had Logan and Denny.
Oh, I mean, I was talking, I meant like in the Red Bull family, but like, Logan.
That's still so fresh.
I'm still so sad because it was like, I know I said this in the pod, but it was like when you feed your dog all the things that they're not allowed to have before they get put down. It's like, just enjoy this one, mate.
Yeah. Why?
But like, they made the right call. I'm just saying.
I know. And that's what makes me the saddest.
Yes. Yeah. Is that like, oh, you were right. Like,
yeah.
Back to that putting your dog down. It's like when you know it needs to happen, but it's still...
No, that's why I got my Logan Sargent Williams hoodie, is because I knew at one point in time it was going to be a hot commodity because I knew his time was limited. And you'll hear, I'll say this and I will say I love Logan Sargent in the next sentence because both are true. But I knew he was not long for Formula One. And I knew that at some point in time that hoodie was probably going to be more expensive than it was when I bought it. So, I don't know. Now I'm really emotionally attached to it, so I'm not, like, going to sell it or anything. But
as you can tell.
Liv pulled that out so quick. You said Logan Sargent hoodie, and she said, this one?
It's sitting in my lap.
Oh, and this is why you have to watch it on YouTube, is because we have props and stuff sometimes.
And video
Oh, sorry.
effects as well. Can I get the heart?
Actually, I think Spotify's just started to allow us to. I don't understand how you guys do this because mine does not work.
Well, I'm now on my iPad instead of my laptop.
Maybe MacBooks don't work.
I don't think MacBooks work.
You have to turn them on, I think.
Oh, turn them on.
Anyways, we can do this. We're professional podcasters. We can do this.
Spotify's just opened a feature where we can upload the video to Spotify as well. So maybe I'll try that out
Nice.
as well. Or maybe
Nice.
I'll just you guys and you'll have to go over to our YouTube channel instead.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling, if I'm feeling nice.
Yeah.
We'll see if Spotify gives me trouble again, because if you're watching this now, you probably realise it's a double upload week, because I only got to upload Coda this morning because it wouldn't let me.
Hey, we had a triple header. We can have a double header podcast week.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly.
I mean, we've literally got, what is it, Brazil this week, and then a little bit of a break, and we've got a triple header.
1 week. Yeah.
1 week.
Yep.
And then Vegas.
I think, oh
my old coworker got a ticket.
Are you going to go? Because they've dropped the tickets so much. The Lewis Hamilton package is like $600 for like really good grandstand seats. It's like a food and beverage package. All this random shit for like $600.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe. Oh gosh, I didn't know that. I need to be financially responsible.
But also, like, you have to take other things into account as well, like travel and accommodation. So
I know, but it's close. I could probably get a flight for under $100.
And I hate to be that person, but accommodation has also really dropped because nobody's buying tickets to the Grand Prix.
That happened last year.
And Lewis is doing something there.
Oh no, you guys! Do I need to get tickets to the Las Vegas Grand Prix?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see what happens. But my coworker got tickets. He said I scored a ticket, and I said, I'm so jealous. How does it feel to live my dream? And then I said, have so much fun. Also, when you go there, kiss all of the drivers square on the mouth. And he said, I will absolutely do that, especially the kissing the drivers part. So
fair.
Just saying.
Reminded me by saying kiss the driver square on the mouth. Did you see that podcast run by kids that Pierre was on the other day? Time I got this letter from a fan, and it was like, I'm really interested in being in a relationship with you and Charles, like if you're in like Blink Twice in the Sky Sports interview. And he was like, I was standing there with my eyes peeled.
Yes, and he was like, I told Charles.
The kids.
And the kids were like, whoa.
Yeah, they're like, okay, cool.
How old are these children?
Like under 10 or like close to 10.
Children. I'll find the video and I'll send it to you because it was wild. Children. I was like, Pierre, time and place.
Oh my god, that's so French of him to do that to a child.
Literally.
Can we talk about how good the Vegas GP is for Australia?
Yeah, good
What time is it for y'all?
FP1, 1:30. FP2, 5 p.m. FP3, 1:30. Qualifying, 5 p.m. The race, 5 p.m.
Wait, what time is it local? Oh god.
It's like 1 a.m. for you, or 2 a.m.
Yeah, I think the race starts at 12.
Like, I knew it was a night race, but it gets
like
dark
a
early
race.
now.
It's like a midnight race.
Yeah, that's really not fun. I'm currently looking at Las Vegas Grand Prix tickets for Sophia. Give me a moment. Sorry.
Did anything else happen at the Mexico Grand Prix? I feel like
there's dead set general admission from like 99, 150.
You're kidding me. All 3 days?
This link right now.
Bruh, that's cheaper than the bloody Oz GP. The hell?
I paid $412 for a 4-day parks pass that I paid $200 for last year. It was advertised as $300 this year, and I paid $412.
Yeah, because that was because of that stupid in-demand pricing.
Or mate, dynamic pricing. Oh my god, Australia's banning it actually.
Yeah, I saw that. The government, they said no.
Yeah.
That's good.
I didn't even try and get tickets for the Oz GP. I was like,
yeah,
no.
Well, it wasn't fun.
I'll be Googling after this.
Yeah, I just sent you a link to the tickets. I reckon you can find some cheap accommodation. You
can do a live commentary on the pod.
Maybe I'll go live on the Instagram or something.
Live reaction.
Yeah, we can do like a live app.
And it'll
We
be like,
Liv and I can do like a live episode, and you can like just jump in and out.
yeah.
Okay, nobody get too excited because I'm
No,
really
I'm-
bad at spending money. I'll have to check what my numbers look like this month. We'll see. Because the thing is, I'm also going to LA in November for Thanksgiving and stuff.
Okay.
If we like send you as Geese and Glory, can we make this a tax write-off?
I don't know how that works.
I also don't know how that works.
I don't want to get political, but with the United States government, I don't know.
Wild. How's an election going? Let's not go there.
No.
I don't get American politics, but I love watching it. I love watching
Beyonce.
it. Yeah. That's wild. That was wild.
He's so
Yeah.
sassy. Fuck, I hate him, but he's sorry for the language. I hate him, but he's so sassy.
I dead set saw a thing where someone was like, I'm voting for the future of my child, but you're voting to kill yours. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, that's wild. That's wild.
There's a lot. I have plans to go to Chili's for cheap food and drink next week. So I will either be celebrating or I will be just burying my sorrows and calling in sick the next day. We'll see. But let's move on. We're not a political podcast.
But I feel like we need to plan a Gears and Glory trip to Denver because
Yeah.
American food sounds so good.
American food?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that.
I also don't think I've heard anyone say that. Do you know where I do want to go? I want to go to Trader Joe's.
Okay, yeah. I get that. Trader
And
Joe's
TK
goes pretty
Maxx.
hard.
Your guys' TK
Yes.
Maxx, amazing.
Yes, because it's TK Maxx in the UK and Australia.
Yeah.
Yes.
It sucks here.
There's one that I go to that's TJ Maxx and Home Goods. So it's like clothing and beauty and then also like anything for your house.
Yeah, that sounds like my heaven. But that's what
I got some sparkly boots there the other day. I'll send you guys a picture.
We've gone so off track, but like,
Yeah.
so fair. That's so, yeah.
Well, and then anytime we say we're on or off track, that's just making a pun, and we're on an F1 podcast, so...
Only one.
It all circle of life.
It's
Yeah.
everything's really on and off track with motorsport, so like, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the barrier right now. We've got into the stands.
Firewall.
We are George Russell when he was sideways on the track with Stroll coming up behind.
I was going to say that one, or we're Zoe on the fence, that one really bad crash he had that was basically in the audience.
Yeah. I still have fiberglass in my eyes. No, fiberglass? I still have carbon fiber in my eyes from his
I hope you don't have fiberglass in your eyes.
That's not what I meant.
Carbon fiber?
Carbon fiber?
Carbon fiber.
Oh my god! Guys, I tried to make that joke in a comment section the other day, but obviously you can't say that you can't say comments with an accent.
Yeah.
So I think it was a McLaren special livery video. Oh, it was the one where Oscar was like, chrome.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I commented and I was like, I don't know, guys, I think this is carbon fiber. And I spelt it funny, but some guy underneath like went for me and he's like, I hate these DTS fans. Every livery is carbon fiber. Blah, blah, blah.
That's the joke, brother.
I commented back and I was like, I fear you've missed my joke. And then I tagged him in the video and I was like, this is what I was referencing. And he just responded back and was like, oh. He's like, it was like, yeah, okay, I get it now and it's funny.
My dead set would have responded to him with, mate, I fear you're the DTS fan at this point because what do you mean?
And I was like, I think I'm more chronically online than you.
Yeah, sorry, some of us just have too much time to scroll TikTok.
Sorry, I get the F1 memes.
Yeah, literally. That's insane. I feel like we've not even really spoken about like the Mexican Grand Prix.
I mean, it was a good race.
Covered like what happened though, like Alex's crash, safety car.
Happened.
First safety car in a long time.
Wild.
No, we had one last race in Coda.
Oh,
I don't
never
remember.
mind.
We had burned. He was out. He was here. We had an appearance.
It's been so long.
And what we didn't talk about was, I guess, Max and Lando's little tiff.
Wow.
Round 2 of the Max v Lando. Are they going to settle round 3? I reckon something is going to happen between turn 1 and 2 this weekend because so many accidents happen in that first chicane. So
I hate that person, but I am delusional, and I do think Charles Leclerc is going to win the World Drivers' Championship because he only needs to outscore them by like 16 points.
We can all hold hands and make a prayer circle.
Do you remember that video of the Hungarian Grand Prix marshals and they're all in a circle, like spinning and jumping?
Yes!
Because that could be us.
That is us.
Okay, wait. Speaking of the marshals, I want to talk about the stewards really quick because I feel like between COTA and then Mexico, the way that the penalties are handed out is so completely different. And I know it's because like they have a different set of stewards for each race. And I have a problem with that because it destroys any semblance of consistency in terms of how these penalties and like punishments are being handed out for behaviors that some people may have different tolerances for.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
They need like at least like a set couple that are every race, and then if you need a couple more, like sure, but like so
or like they all have the same rule book, right? That I get, but like some sort of training to make things consistent, or like rotation between the tracks so that it's even. But like I agree that they need, because a lot of these positions are volunteer positions too. Like F1, I know you have the money to pay these people and fly them around to at least a handful of races so that there's consistency in terms of handing stuff off to maybe the next guy who's posted up for the next leg of the season and all this stuff. But like, it's kind of crazy of like Max is being Mad Max again, which I love. And, but like the way that he's being responded to is inconsistent. And it's like, how do you ever respond to that?
Yeah.
I have my own thoughts on Mad Max, the past 2 weeks, and how he has now been painted in the media, but that can be postponed for another time.
For the TikTok?
I'll just respond back to my people that don't understand.
I mean, I have to bring up the fake stewards document that I sent to the group.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Well, I was so confused because I read Daniel Kvyat first. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, what? Well, and then I actually read what it was for.
I just read fucking terrorist and I was like, what? Yeah.
The description, I don't know if this is going to show up, but for anybody who can't read that, I'll put it up. But it goes, title, hello? I can't even speak. Disqualification of car 33, Max Verstappen from the 2024 Mexican Grand Prix. Description, this guy is a fucking terrorist. The stewards have received multiple reports of dangerous driving, summoned Max Verstappen to the stewards room to discuss code of conduct, whatever. And then it's signed off Johnny Herbert, Denny Kvyat, Brad Philpott, and just a heap of people that don't like Max Verstappen. And I think this is quite possibly the funniest fake document I've ever seen, and this will be treasured in my heart forever because I love it.
It's hilarious.
It's so good.
Absolutely brilliant.
I think it's making the racing interesting. I mean, obviously we've had a good latter 2/3. Like, yes, the Red Bull started struggling, and for a while I was rooting for the Red Bull to struggle. And now it's crazy the evolution of the season. Like, we started with Alpine doing really, really rough, and like Haas, also struggling. Stake has been consistently poor, and I am so sorry for them, but that's where they're at. But Haas, 7-8? That was been
great.
Double points and not 9 and 10.
No.
Like, maybe K-Mag's coming back for another Brazilian pole.
It's like Vanka Hours with the Red Flags guys, whatever. You guys know I love listening to their podcast, but they were saying like, Gunther Steiner was saying like, oh, it's like he remembered that he doesn't have a seat for next season.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I checked the forecast for Brazil, and it's going to be rain all weekend, which is super common for the Brazil GP. Like, we know this, obviously.
The weather's always wild.
But I want the Dark Sky Law back. That was sick last year.
Yes, Charles's qualifying lap. Oh,
it was sunshine. That was midnight rain.
He was. Our Verstappen hearts. But yeah, obviously that causes a lot of shake-ups on the grid, because it's all dependent on strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think strategy, and I think like just like experience at a certain point too. Like
Yes.
that's where you see the drivers like Lewis and Alonso really succeed because
Yeah.
they have had years and years and years of every once in a while the wet race, but they have more of those once in a whiles.
Yeah.
And that's
Even
why I
Morgan-
think, yeah,
Yeah.
they have that experience. But that's why I think Lando's going to struggle. And I'm really hopeful because Max is Dutch. Like I know that man has driven in the rain. He always has the sixth sense. He was the one who said it's getting really dark in Mexico. And then they knew what he was saying. They were like, "Oh well, rain's not forecasted." But
Yeah.
My titties.
then I
That's
also thought
exactly
it was
what I
funny
was thinking.
because George said, "Oh, I swear I saw rain," and I feel like he always does that because there was the one radio of him. I don't know from what season.
Also, it's sweat.
Yeah,
Did you hear?
that's inside your helmet, brother, not
I
on
think
the
it was
outside.
Crofty, and he was like, in Mexico when George asked if it was going to rain, Crofty was like, "Are you sure it's not sweat?"
That's
I
really
love-
funny.
I love
He
that
has the
this-
best radios. Straight up, George has the best
Oh.
radios.
I saw a compilation of them the other day, and it was just it's so good. It's so good. I think it was in Coda, but he got told that someone got a penalty, and he was like, "What?"
That was so good. He's so British sometimes.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best is Yabba Dabba Doo. God, that was iconic.
What? Oh, what on earth drove that man to say that? What collected his brain? He was just like, yabba dabba doo.
It
Like-
killed me.
I've never heard anybody say that outside of the freaking Flintstones. Like, is this something he commonly says outside of racing? Because what made his brain go, that's the one? Did it just slip out? Is he embarrassed? Like, I have so many questions still.
I
I don't
love
know if it's worse if it slipped out or if he did it on purpose.
Yeah. I just love
I
that,
think
like,
it's funnier if it was an accident. If he said it on purpose, I'm like, ick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So good. I love him. But yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of it's gonna be very entertaining this weekend. With the rain and the difference in strategies, but also like just the track in general, regardless of the weather, it's always so
It's
much
good.
happening.
It's a little short one. Like
It
Coda's
says
long.
there.
Well, hopefully Charles doesn't crash on the formation lap again, and I'll be happy. If he at least finishes the formation lap, I'll be good.
He's been good this year. He hasn't had a lot of bad luck.
Everybody knock on wood right now. Everybody knock on wood right now.
Use the wood. Yeah.
You
cheers.
just hear pounding. Oh my god. Yeah. I think I've told you guys this, I think I mentioned it, but I try to do the F1 game. I have the 2023, so I don't have the latest one. But I'll go and I'll drive the laps. I'll drive the tracks before the Grand Prix of that weekend. So I went in and I did, may or may not have had a little drink before.
Better once you've had some drinks, I found.
Yeah, but then I was like, my reaction time, because I kept going wide because I wasn't getting the racing line right and all this stuff. And I was like, and that's what I get. My reaction time is just not there. But it is a fun track to drive, to just swing yourself around. That being said, I was on my couch and I wasn't hitting 2 to 3 Gs every corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, it's a fun.
But it's fun.
A fun track.
And the drivers say that they like it, kind of like up there with like Suzuka and stuff, like that it's a fun one. I needed to taste around for the word.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. No, I think a lot of drivers love it. It's also counterclockwise.
Yeah. It's always really
true.
exciting to watch. It's just, for Australia at least, I don't know what time it is for you, Soph, but like it's effed up times for us.
I think it might be a decent hour for me.
30 in the morning, and then qualifying is like 5:30 maybe, which isn't too bad.
The race is 4 a.m.
Oh, are you kidding? Like, do you know what I mean? I don't want to get up at that time.
Just support it. I will shut my trap.
Can you? No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna.
I'll just mute the group. You can message the chat. I will just mute it.
Yeah,
I watch the race
anyway, and I've learnt not to turn it off or open social media until
Yeah.
I've watched the race, because a few too many times it's been ruined. I woke up like halfway through Miami this year. I didn't watch the full thing, and I woke up about halfway through it, and I accidentally checked my like the publisher.
Yeah, it's habit.
And they were like, "Oh my god, is Lando gonna win?" And I was like, "Pardon?" So I obviously instantly turned it on, but like I never saw the beginning of that race. I never saw the first half.
Yeah.
So I've learnt my lesson.
Yeah, I'm with you, Liv. Yeah, for any other Aussies listening, maybe
Phone. Do not disturb.
yeah, just throw your phone in another room for
You don't need it.
hours for the first half.
Unless you're on the night shift.
Yeah, you don't need it.
No.
Nothing was ever worse than it must have been. No, because I think I watched the Brazilian Grand Prix last year. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. I opened my social media forgetting it was the Brazilian Grand Prix and just saw Charles Leclerc crashed on formation lap, and I said, "Fucking what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why am I so unlucky?
Yeah."
That radio message haunts me.
And the scream from France 2022 haunts my nightmares.
Oh.
And it's worse knowing in France he didn't realise his radio was on.
Yeah,
that's silence.
That's what I was going to say is if, like, they would say so much to themselves in the car that no one will ever hear because they never turn on the radio, but they'd be like screaming. Even, I remember, it was some street circuit, but Charles, forgot to turn his radio off throughout the, like, really intense set of corners.
Oh,
and like
that was China. That was China this year.
And he was like breathing so heavy, and he was like, and then Brian, actually, he might have still had Xavi at that point, but anyway,
I think he did.
Was like, oh, after he was out of the corners, he was like, okay, like, turn your radio off.
Shut up, please.
Like, oh, poor Charles. But that really put into perspective just how like
hard they're working.
Hard they're working, yeah. How hard they're pushing.
It really.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, like, they're so fit already.
Yeah. And they're huffing and puffing like that.
Yeah.
It literally just like amplified and exaggerated Daniel's I'm a high performance athlete.
Exactly.
It really was like, you're right.
Oh my god.
I can go around the house screaming ki rah, and my kids will scream back yay, and I love it.
I love that.
They're so well trained. That's perfect.
Oh my god, there is this guy that I follow on TikTok. We are friends, but he has a little golden dog. I can't remember. I think he's like a mixed breed, but his name is Oscar Papastri.
I've seen that.
Yeah, he is so cute, but he's teaching him F1 themed tricks. And he goes, day 5 of whatever, and he stands next to the dog and he goes, Daniel Ricciardo, and the dog just leaves the room. And I commented and I said, you're paying for my therapy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Ouch.
I was like, that one hurt. And it was like a few weeks after Daniel left.
Oh no.
It was still fresh. It was too fresh.
It's always going to be too soon, honestly.
It is. Because it's already happened before.
Oh my god. Speaking of that, like, you're paying for my therapy, this is literally not motorsport related at all. I don't know if any of you guys read books, but I saw on Threads yesterday that people have literally been finding, like, authors, like, whatever like Venmo thing is from America, and requesting money and saying, for my therapy. Ballsy, wild, calm down.
Oh my god, that's insane. Well,
yeah,
I talked about this a little bit with Brit, I think, but I read a F1 romance.
Ooh.
It was fine. It was okay. It was, honestly, I gave it like 3 stars on Goodreads. I think it was kind of mid. It's called Revved.
Whoa. You need to read Dirty Air. I have all 4 books.
I've heard really bad things about it, though.
Yeah, we spoke about this last episode.
Okay.
I did tell you to talk to Liv because I'd only read the first one, and the first one was crap. But I did tell her to speak to you about.
I mean, hey, the off season is coming up. Maybe we do a book club.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll read Wrecked again. Dead set. If you guys go and buy Wrecked, Brit, it's $12 at Big W and came up. Sophia, I'm sure it's cheaper.
I'll put it on my Kindle.
Done.
What is it? Wait, what is it?
Oh, let me get it.
I want to read this one. I screenshot it with the Spanish title.
The Australian version.
I have seen the Australian version.
Rex.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got the Australian and the American versions because I'm obsessed. This gives me like Lewis Hamilton vibes. I'm not saying he's a drug addict. I'm just saying the character reminds me of Lewis Hamilton.
This one. This is the cover.
Oh, I have that.
Okay, good.
Amor con what?
Amor sem frio.
Called. I think it's.
Oh, that's in Portuguese, I think.
I think it's called Cross the Line.
Yes.
With the social media manager?
Yeah,
They all have a social media manager.
I've got that sitting somewhere too. I haven't brought myself to read more than those 2 pages, but my friend says it's really good.
Okay,
So,
my friend also said it was really good, but I forgot to take a photo from her, and then I saw that on my Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, that's the cover. And I screenshot, and I was like, wait, that's not English. I was like, it's fine, I'll find the cover.
Oh, I will say, so Britt and I have a friend streak on Duolingo. Britt's learning Spanish. I was learning Portuguese, but I have since switched to Italian on the off chance I ever end up in Maranello.
Just in case.
I love that.
Just on the off chance the universe takes me there for an extended period of time. Manifesting. But anyways, yeah.
Okay,
right now I'm learning like coffee with milk. So
yeah.
I'm up to shopping for clothes. That's my unit in Duolingo at the moment.
Oh my god. I haven't
shopping
for long. But I
join us.
Use it to like brush up on my French and Italian because like I feel like I'm losing it and I don't want to. But I'm also trying.
Oh, not the Duolingo sound. I actually haven't done mine today. Maybe this is where we break. We break to go do our Duolingo lessons.
Yeah, it's a sign. Yeah,
if you're listening to this podcast,
it's literally like English on crack. So maybe try that. It's really fun. You can like
what
really
is it?
Out Dutch.
Oh,
It's
I can't get the accent. I'm already struggling to get the Spanish like placement of the tongue.
Yeah.
I can't be Max Verstappen.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I feel like he does like that's his face while speaking half the time. Like I can't explain it.
I'm not gonna be able to unsee it now.
Yeah, you gotta look at him speak, you're gonna get it. Like not the sound obviously, but the way he sticks his tongue out when he's speaking randomly. And I'm like, put it back in.
I feel like it might just be the shape of his mouth.
No, I think so too.
He does have a little bit of like a froggy
It looks
mouth.
like he's like spitting. I feel like you couldn't stand too close to him while he's speaking because he looks like he's got some sort of lisp or something where he's like spitting constantly.
He does sound like he has a lisp. Oh my god, this is giving that same episode as when we analysed him with that TikTok.
We're further analysing that. That bloke who posted that TikTok actually ended up messaging me and I was like, I swear to God, I'm not bullying you. Like,
did he see our pod?
I love it. I don't get it, but I love it.
Oh my god.
Slay.
Yeah.
Well, this, I think, has been more of like a catch-up episode with Liv than it has been
back together.
GP.
Yeah.
But
there's so much shit to talk.
Yeah. G and G gang. G and G is back together.
Jeez, oh my god.
Go.
Get rid of them. Lord. I feel like we're going to have to do like an end of year recap after.
Yes.
Maybe give Abu Dhabi like a week or 2 to settle in because.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can we do like an F1 Secret Santa recap episode as well? Because those are my favourite videos. They're so dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing it this year.
Secret Santa, you've got to go watch it because it's so funny.
As long as they're doing it this year.
They better. If they don't, I don't know who to contact, but I'll figure it out. I will figure it out.
Just DM Andrea.
Yeah. Nothing is better than Pierre Gasly holding a box and he's like, and they're like, guess what it is? And he goes, feels like Monopoly. And then opens it and it is Monopoly. And he's like, how'd they know I needed Monopoly? He goes, I knew that.
That's so funny.
Wild.
Oh my god.
Wild.
So good. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, well, here's to another chaotic episode of Gears and Glory. Because Jesus.
And welcome back, Liv.
Thank you.
We missed you.
It feels so weird.
Let's get one more reaction in. There we go.
Not gonna happen for me, but yeah.
There you
All right, go do your Duolingo, everybody.
Yeah.
Your daily lesson.
If you have a Duolingo streak, go do it so you don't lose it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, hit us up. Tell us your Duolingo names. Maybe we can all have like
friend streaks.
Let's make a G&G friend streak.
Stop it. Dead set. If you have Duolingo, send us a message on like Instagram or something. I don't know. Find a way to contact us. You'll figure it out. We're not that hard to find.
We have many socials. I'm
pretty sure our socials are always linked in the description unless I've forgotten to do it, but I don't think I've forgotten, so
big slay.
Let us know. Alright.
Okay.
See you guys next week. Yeah. I hope.
See you for the Brazil recap.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Every week. Ciao, ciao.